going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. I am Raechel, and today we're going to be doing a day of training here at Koda CrossFit Iron View in Lafayette, Colorado with the one and only Katie Stevenson! Woo!
I'm super excited.
All right, guys, we are joined by Katie Stevenson, a coach and CrossFit athlete today. So let's talk to Katie a little bit about her athletic background, how she got into CrossFit and all that good stuff.
Sure. So I'm 26 years old. Just had a birthday on Monday, so I'm
oh yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you. I started like my fitness journey when I was 15, 16 years old, so in high school. I just looked at myself one day in the mirror and I'm like, I don't like how you look. Yeah. We're gonna do something about it. But I didn't know what I was doing back then. Okay. So I just like everyone else, I thought, okay, I need to eat less food and work out harder to lose weight and get abs and have muscle. That's what I thought. So that's what I did. Gotcha. But it turned into a really toxic relationship with food. Okay. And I developed anorexia. I got into a point where I was starving myself, you know, on a daily basis. My hair started falling out. Oh wow. I missed my period for 3 months. Jeez. I got down to like a 0 in my pants, and like at the time, obviously living with my parents were just so distraught. But I'm like, that attention that I was getting from them in a negative way kept the fire going, right? And so that lasted for like a year and a half until I went to a conference and I just had enough. I didn't like how miserable I was. I wanted to change my life, so I started, you know, really being okay with allowing myself to eat food. It wasn't perfect overnight, it didn't fix itself overnight, but as time went on, I learned more and more things and started doing more and more research and got more comfortable with just nutrition and training in general. And then, you know, in my early 20s, so it's like 5-6 years ago, I started teaching a boot camp class in someone's basement. Gotcha. She was on maternity leave. And she's like, hey, I need help. I'm like, okay. So I got to learn under her wing of like, this is how you do a squat, this is how you do a plank, this is how you do bicep curl and overhead press. Because before that, I was just doing YouTube videos in my basement. Gotcha. And she started teaching me macros and like protein, carbs, and fats. She's like, Katie, you can have Oreos if they fit in your macros and you're still gonna see results. And I'm like, what? Yeah. You mean I can have ice cream and pizza sometimes and just make it fit? So I'm like, well, this is great. So I started implementing it and working on myself and just showcasing my journey. And then as time went on, like I started to see that pay off and the results start to show up, and so people started asking me, well, what are you doing? And I started helping them that way. And then you know, three years ago, that's when I really wanted to be a coach and help especially women just find a healthier relationship with food and understand like, hey, if you want to look a certain way, you have to train a certain way, you have to eat a certain way to get there. You know, hours of cardio and starving yourself isn't gonna do much.
You guys hear that? That's important information.
Very important. And so 3 years ago, I really got into bodybuilding. Did that for about 2.5 years, and then I honestly got bored with it. And I'm like, I need more. Like, I don't want to come in every Monday's leg day, every Tuesday's back day. Like, I'm over it. And so last year, I reached out to a good friend of mine, and I hired him to program CrossFit. Workouts for me, because I had no idea what I was doing. But I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and try something new. Love it. I had done CrossFit when I was in high school. It was way different 10 years ago. And it's all about like, let's lift the heaviest weight, the fastest amount of time, go. And it's not that way anymore. And so that's why I wanted to coach. So I've been doing CrossFit now for a little over a year. And I was telling you this the other day, I'll never go back to bodybuilding. It's just not my cup of tea. So here I am doing CrossFit. Nice. Done 3 competitions this year. And then, you know, I do online coaching. So kind of going back to like why I started and how I started. Again, I wanted to help people, and that's what I do full time now, is I just help people all over the world online. And now we're gonna get into some training. As you guys know, we're doing a day of training with Katie here, and she's a CrossFit athlete, so we're gonna be doing a CrossFit workout. Katie, what are we doing today? So, right now, for me personally, like my biggest goals is I want to get stronger, I want to be able to lift heavier, and just make my lifts more efficient.
Okay, I like all of those things.
A couple weeks ago, I dropped a barbell on my back, and I never want that to happen ever again.
Yikes, okay.
So my program,
okay.
I'm okay, I'm good, yeah.
It's okay.
I see a chiropractor, it's all good. So with that, like I'm working a lot more now on like stability and, you know, accessory work mixed in with some like CrossFitty metcons, so to speak. So today, we've got 16 squat snatches.
16 squat snatches, okay.
For me, it's at 90 pounds because that's where I need to work. For you, we'll see.
Figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. And then we got a superset of some snatch pulls from the blocks and some alternating dumbbell snatches.
Okay.
5 sets of that. And then we got a 14-minute EMOM, so every minute on the minute. First minute, we're doing American kettlebell swing, so all the way up overhead. Okay. And then 10 calories on the rower.
All right.
After that 14-minute EMOM, we'll go into 6 rounds of 10 calories on the bike and 15 burpees.
All right, that sounds so fun.
I'm so excited.
Let's show them. Well, if you guys want to do this, you guys can see that? Well, hopefully they can see what's on there. But if anybody wants to do the workout, do it. Drop in the comments how it went. We want to hear about it.
Hell yeah.
I am excited to dig into this and die inside a little. Katie's gonna guide me along and we're gonna have some fun.
Well, here's the thing too, along that, we are gonna have fun, but like you have the bodybuilding background, right? And so
we have something.
Well, this transitions so well into CrossFit anyways because you understand how the muscle groups have to work.
Totally.
So, like, she's gonna be fine.
I appreciate that.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Let's do it. So guys, we're gonna start with the warm-up, which is a very important for your workout. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna do 2 rounds of 1 minute on the rower. Okay. We'll do some inchworms with like a push-up to a downward dog to get some like shoulder stretching in there. Okay. Some pass-throughs with the PVC pipe. We'll work on some alternating.
A lot of snatches. We're gonna have to warm up these shoulders.
That's exactly right. Some alternating dumbbell snatches, some like overhead presses, just to again like get the shoulders primed and ready to go. So
let's do it.
That's what we're gonna do.
The 16 squat snatches is our first exercise here, but we're gonna do a little build, warm up. Okay, what are we gonna do first?
So I would just, with the bar, I would just work on some like hang power snatches, just to get that motion, you know, in range.
What do you like most about CrossFit?
It's always different.
Yeah.
And it challenges me in so many different ways. I'm always humbled, but I always come back a little bit better than I did the day before, which is awesome.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we finished up the 16 squat snatches. She did it at 90 pounds. I did not do it at 90 pounds. I did it at my scaled weight. We're moving on to snatch pull from blocks. Here we go.
This snatch pull is from the blocks. So the snatch pull is that what we call like a triple extension when you're in this position and you're coming underneath the bar. So we're just working on pulling the bar here. We're stopping and putting it back in on the block. So we're gonna start with it right above our knees in that snatch position. You grip and you engage your lats, sit back, look forward, and reset. We're gonna take about 5 seconds between each rep. That's what we're gonna do.
All right, guys, we are supersetting the pulls from the block with these alternating dumbbell snatches. You can see Katie doing excellent back there. Here we go.
I think think it's watching people become more confident with themselves. It's not even their physical transformation. It's not the amount of weight they can start lifting. It's the confidence they have with themselves because they did those things. Yeah. You know, and being there when it is they're going through a tough time or a hard day, and being able to listen to them and be like a venting session for them, but giving them the tools to push past it. You know, a big thing I've learned over the last year, and this is from Kevin, and he's my best friend, my boss at Hidden Summit. He's like, control what you can. Like, if you can't control it, don't worry about it. And if you are getting overwhelmed, like, zoom out and gain perspective and just control the controllable. But also, like, we tend to create our own stress. And like those outside factors, or a family member or your job, like those things don't actually create stress. You allow them to create stress. And like teaching other people those things, because I've learned those things and I've applied those things, it's just amazing to watch. So I think that's the best part about coaching, is just watching someone grow.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we just finished the snatch full blocks with the alternating dumbbell snatches. Now we're going on to the EMOM 14 minutes. Katie, tell them what we're gonna do.
So it's gonna be a 14-minute EMOM. The first minute we're gonna do 15 American kettlebell swings. So that's all the way overhead with whatever time you have left to get a rest. Okay, so faster you work, the rest you get. And then the second minute we're gonna do 10 calories on the rowing machine. Again, whatever time you got left, that's your rest time. So we're gonna go through that a total of 7 times to equal 14 minutes.
Let's go!
Let's go!
I'm dying. Thanks, Katie. Okay, guys, I just almost died on this last piece, but we did this 14-minute EMOM with the American kettlebell swings and the 10-cal row.
She did great.
I'm alive and breathing. We're gonna move on to the next piece. She'll do it in her way, and I'll do a scaled version. So tell them what we're gonna do.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do 5 rounds. I'm gonna do 10 calories on the bike and 15 burpees. Raechel's gonna do 7 calories on the bike and 10 burpees, so we don't kill her completely today. And we're putting a 10-minute time cap on this, so it's go hard or go home.
All right.
All right, here we go. That's it.
We're gonna breathe for a little bit. All right, guys, we just finished the last piece of the workout, which I did the scaled version. Katie did the full version here of the, I did 7 calories on the bike, she did 10. I did 10 burpees, she did 15. We did 5 rounds.
We did 5 rounds.
In that time limit, so.
All done.
We finished it, yes. Boom, crushed it. I did a day of training with Katie Stevenson here, who is a coach and CrossFit athlete. So let's talk a little bit more about your training, like regimen, I guess, your schedule, what that looks like on a day-to-day basis.
You know, I'm working a lot on Olympic lifts and structure work and accessory, and then I always usually hit some sort of conditioning or Metcon. I also find it I find time to do a 45-minute walk in the day too.
Okay, yes, so get those steps in.
Yeah, like long story short, when I started working with Kevin last year, he did a lot of my programming. Then when I started working with him, I did what we call Hidden Summit Tracks. And that is like our workout platform that we have for everybody who wants access to it. And one of our tracks is a competitive CrossFit programming. Gotcha. So I've been following that since February, and just recently, because of the barbell incident a couple weeks ago, I decided I needed a little bit more structure work. Okay. So I talked to Casey McAllister at the gym here, who's now programming that kind of thing for me to help me get stronger and be able to lift heavier. Yeah. So I mixed the two together. So I have some of Casey's programming, and then I do the Alpha track. Got it.
So if you guys want to check out that Alpha track for CrossFit, that's at Hidden Summit?
Yeah, so it's hiddensummit.co.
Okay, so check that out. And if you're in Colorado, in Lafayette, Colorado to be specific, come check out Koda CrossFit Iron View. That's where Casey McAllister is doing some of her programming too. So if you're in the area, check out this awesome gym. But back to Katie here. What about you specifically for nutrition? What kind of, like, are you doing macro tracking is what you had mentioned earlier? Like, what does that look like for you specifically in your training?
Well, since my training just recently changed a little bit, you know, adding in those walks and like kind of the different structure that I have now, I'm burning a lot more calories. And right now I'm trying to get stronger, right? So I'm eating in a slight calorie surplus to help with that. And I'm gonna have to up them more. So right now I'm at 2,200 calories. I'm eating about 150 grams of protein, 280 grams of carbs, and about 60 grams of fat. Awesome. And it's time to up those numbers to probably 23 or 2,400.
Ooh, yeah, all the food, all the food.
All the food.
The goal is always to eat as much food as you can for your goal, I think.
100%. And the biggest thing that I see all the time is people are not eating enough.
For sure.
Because they just are so ingrained into the fact of, oh, I have to eat less to lose weight. Yeah. Well, less is relative. For sure. Less for you could be 1,800 calories. Totally. Less for somebody else could be 14 or even, you know, 1,900 calories.
Very individual.
Yeah.
Very
no
individual.
cookie cutter shit.
Yeah. So it's always good to have a coach, guys. Even coaches need coaches.
100%.
So that's important. So let's talk a little bit about recovery. Yeah. Do you do anything specific for your recovery after your training sessions and all that?
I would really like to say that I stretch after every single training session, but that would be a lie. I do my best. Honestly, like a big thing that I put into my recovery routine just as a lifestyle is I see a chiropractor once a week. Yeah, nice. If you guys are in the Lafayette area, Louisville, Erie, whatever, I definitely recommend seeing Dr. Emily Boyich. She's my chiropractor. She's amazing. She's also a CrossFit athlete.
She was just in this gym.
Yeah, she's a beast. She's still going. She's somewhere around here. Anyway, I see her once a week. Yeah. And then I do my best to get a massage every few months. I really should go once a month, but it's really hard to make the time for it. And then last but not least, I go to a place called Restore. Okay. So they're kind of popping up all over the place in the United States, but Restore is a place to get IV therapy done, compression therapy done, stretching, cryotherapy, and I go there specifically for compression and IV therapy. Okay. So they put a needle, and they pump me full of vitamins and minerals, and then I have compressions on my legs, and I go there once to 2 times a month. Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay. Best place ever.
But guys, I had a great time training with Katie today, a day of training for CrossFit. And if you guys want to follow her on Instagram. She's on TikTok. You can email her. All kinds of good stuff. I will drop all of her info in the description below. I'll also put it up. What's your Instagram handle again?
_theoutcast_95.
And TikTok?
Same thing.
Same thing. All right, she's putting out a lot of good content on there, so give her a follow, check her out. And if you guys like the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see more day of training videos with other athletes, more of me training, all kinds of good stuff coming your way. So thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there, lift all the things, and I'll see you next time. Woo!
Let's go.
Nice.